What is up, guys, and welcome to another classic race in this little mini series we are doing. And this time we're at Japan, and what other race to do other than the 2005 Japanese Grand Prix? We're driving, of course, none other than the Finnish Kimi Raikkonen, starting from last as we always do. It just spices everything up a little bit. We've got the Jordan to our left. What a sight for sore eyes that car is! The livery is actually insane. Like, it looks so nice. I just really appreciate the Jordan livery. We get on the way and we get off to a flying start at best. We just absolutely smoke both of the Jordans and one of the Toyotas. We've got to battle the other Toyota of Jarno Trulli. We've got, I believe it's Nick Heidfeld, who's just ahead of us, who's going to lose it under traction. We've got our old teammate Felipe Massa, who is just ahead of us, and he's going to clout straight into the back of one of the Minardis. I believe it's Patrick Freisacker. But we're just going to have to try and get past Massa as best as we can, as we almost actually lose the car under braking there. So we managed to not lose any time on that. But Massa's got no front wing, so he's going to hold us up massively if we want to advance through these 5 laps and try and actually get to the front of the field. But we've still got both of the Minardis ahead of us at the moment. I think it's Albers who is just ahead of us, and then obviously his teammate's just ahead of him. But we're going to have a look up the inside, and they almost... Well, he does push me off the track, but we could have lost our race there because he took out his teammate more or less anyway. But we got Giancarlo Fisichella, who is just ahead of us. He's going to go side by side. I want to say it's either Jenson Button or Takuma Sato. We've got no room, so we're going to have to go on the curb and a little bit on the grass. So we've got a bit of a grassy tyre now. Behind Jacques Villeneuve is the Canadian world champion, who's just ahead of us in P9, just outside of the points. But we're going to do what we can and try and maybe progress down the start finish straight and see if we can get past him on the start straight. We got Mercedes engine in the back of this, but he's going to pull to the right hand side to defend. We're going to go all the way around the outside of Jacques Villeneuve, and that is going to be a move that's very reminiscent of the real life 2005 Japanese Grand Prix. We've got our teammate Juan Pablo Montoya just behind, I believe it's Rubens Barrichello, followed by Jenson Button just ahead of him. So what's Takuma Sato, just to confirm that we did overtake when we went side by side with Fisichella? Yeah, Fisichella. Was it Fisichella? Either way, screw it. We're behind Mark Webber now, not even Montoya. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Montoya's well up the field. But yeah, behind Mark Webber, obviously he drove for Williams before making the jump to Red Bull all that time ago. It was really weird to think about it. But yeah, there's Rubens Barrichello just ahead of us. Alonso a little bit further forward. I'm regaining my marbles, as it were. We're going to have a look at Rubens Barrichello coming to Spoon, because Spoon, we've got a lot of traction. We're going to have a look around the left-hand side, look at the right, fake to the left, down the inside of the Brazilian. Not as great this season, 2005, but nonetheless, Jenson Button, again, not a great season for him. But ourselves, we only just narrowly missed out on the championship that year if it weren't for 2 really, really odd failures. Especially in Germany, but coming up to 130R, we're going to go down the inside of Jenson Button. He left the door open a little bit, and we gave him a little bit of a squeeze towards the outside, but there is Christian Clean just behind Fernando Alonso, then followed by Montoya. So Montoya is just a little bit ahead of us in a podium position at the moment. We're going to have a look at Christian Clean. We're going to go side by side with him, but he's actually got a bit of more legs on us than we do. So he's going to move to the inside, just like Jacques Villeneuve did. He's going to put up much more of a fight. We're going to go off the track just a little bit, trying to hold our McLaren, but we do manage to make it through just about. We didn't make any contact, which is obviously the main goal. Now we've got to chase down the 2-time world champion Fernando Alonso, but let's have a look at a few replays of that, because that was actually really, really cool. So we had the first one on Jacques Villeneuve down into turn 1, and then we got Jenson Button as well through 130R, and then actually making a move, or trying to make a move at least, on Christian Clean. So we couldn't get it done into the chicane, so we're going to hang on to his gearbox, fly down the start finish straight. I really thought they was actually going to be able to manage to hold on to him down the start finish straight, but it just, whether I got a poor exit or whatever, we just didn't actually seem to manage it, which is a bit frustrating. But there you go, you can see no contact. We went a little bit wide, probably gave him more space than we needed to, but we did manage to make it through. So we'll jump back onto the actual live action now. We've got Fernando Alonso here, who is looking pretty vulnerable for a 130R overtake. I'm not sure if we can catch up to that Renault engine by then. We might have to make a move into the braking zone of the chicane, but nonetheless, we are closing in on him so much. He actually goes to the right-hand side. We get a bit spooked, and we lock up, and we actually almost accidentally pass our teammate Juan Pablo Montoya. So that was very close to not necessarily wiping him out, but an accidental overtake is always nice. I mean, you never expect them, but here we are. We are still behind our teammate on lap 4. We're in P4 now, so we've made 16 positions up so far, so we're doing a bang-on job at the moment. We're going to have a look again at Montoya into this hairpin. It's not a bad move, to be fair. I mean, it's really off camber, but we almost did a Carlos Sainz and put it in the barrier to the left-hand side, but we managed to survive that. Not bad so far. We've got Coulthard, who somehow managed to put it on pole. I have no idea how he managed that, but fair play to the Scotsman. We are now going to make him our next target. Bearing in mind, both of these cars do have Ferrari engines in the back of their car. It's a bit more difficult. Ferrari wasn't that bad. It was a good pace. Just the car wasn't that great, especially at the beginning half of the season. They was using the F2004 chassis, and then because of the fuel tank size, they actually had to change their chassis and make it a bit late, and it arrived in around about Imola, I want to say. But we go past David Coulthard into P2 and about to start the final lap, chasing down the 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. As we come across the line, I want to say we set the fastest lap. We probably did, seeing as the track is purple. We've got about 5 tenths to Michael, who is in first place. We have to close up as best we can and try and get this McLaren into P1, just as Kimi did. Maybe not as far back as we did, but, you know, we'll let him off, you know. I'm sorry, I'm just, this car is just, it's, for any of you guys who don't know, all these classic races, bar the 2007 and 9, I've made myself, and from an exterior point of view, especially in the thumbnail, the McLaren looks amazing. That's why I said to you at the beginning, like, I really appreciate the Jordan livery because it came out so well. The Minardi wasn't mine. Someone put up like a Lamborghini version of the Minardi, which was basically the same thing, and I just had to tweak the colours back to the original black and white, and they look amazing. The McLaren and the Renault were fantastic. The Ferrari is it's a Ferrari. I mean, it's not their best livery, but it's obviously definitely very iconic. But I'm just over the moon with this McLaren livery. But we're going to come up to the last sector of the Grand Prix very soon now. We're about to come up to 130R. We still haven't got past Michael Schumacher. He is still ahead of us. We're going to have to make a last-ditch effort into the braking zone at the chicane. We're going to come through 130R. He's going to defend to the right. We're going to go all the way around to the left. We're going to miss our braking point. Just about hang on in there. Michael could come back at us, but he's not. So we do actually manage to hold on, and we are actually going to take the win here in Japan, just like Kimi did in 2005. We absolutely smashed through the field, but Michael did put up a bit of an effort. That angle makes my car look amazing. I'm not going to lie. It looks absolutely fantastic. But I've got a replay of on board that I want to show you. Look at the vibrations, like just the camera shake of how the car goes through that corner is amazing. But there are the final results. There's no podium or celebration scene because there isn't, not yet. But there are the final winners. Montoya just missing out on the podium. That's been it for me, guys. Until next time, I'll see you then.